Whenever I have a new idea for an app, one of the first things I do is go find a domain name for it. The company I use, and have used for years, is hover.com. Hover.com has a clean and easy-to-use interface. They don't try to upsell me on a bunch of services I don't want or need, and they provide free whois masking for the domains I register. So if I register a domain that's not directly tied to devchat.tv, people don't need to know that I'm the one that owns it. They also offer domains with all kinds of top-level domains like .codes and .computer, and others like .coffee and .pizza. So when you have your next idea strike, go to hover.com/adventures to get it. Once again, that's hover.com/adventures. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Adventures in Angular show. This week on our panel we have Ward Bell.
Hello.
Alyssa Nicoll.
Hey guys, hey.
Joe Eames.
Hey everybody.
I'm Charles Max Wood from devchat.tv, and we have a special guest this week, and that is Aaron Frost. Aaron, Frosty, welcome back.
Hello. Thanks. It's good to be here.
So you haven't been on for a while. You want to tell people what you're up to these days?
Yeah, I'm supposed to have been on, but I've been slacking. So I'm just kind of like a lot of people, just busy. You know, I got a new job. I don't work at Domo. I work at SaltStack, where we're doing some cool stuff with Angular, and you know, dad and a side project. So a lot of stuff going on.
Nice. Now, Joe said that you were willing to talk about NG Conf.
Yeah, I mean, people want to know. I mean,
do you know anything about NG Conf?
Llamas. They're going to be llamas.
Just what I see on the internet. Just. Yeah, there's lots of cool plans that we're coming up with, and a lot of my ideas get shut down, actually. So
mostly by me.
Yeah, what comes out the funnel is what Joe allows us to do.
I'm the great NG Conf.
So would you say it's like 50% of your ideas, or like more than that?
Nowhere near that many. Oh no. Right.
Probably like 20% make it through the funnel.
It's the same thing with Ward's outfits when he goes to conferences. He runs those by me, and I filter those, and you only get to see about 10-15% of those.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Now I hate you, Joe.
Ward.
Why would you?
Yep. Carmen Miranda outfit is out.
Damn. And that I wanted to wear that ice cream sandwich suit, and he said no.
No.
Whoa,
I might reconsider.
NG Conf has a stance against ice cream. I have to hear this.
It's really just ice cream sandwich suit.
It's an animal product, and we're cruelty free.
Oh, I see.
The kids love it, though. They chase me down the street and try and take a bite out of me.
Oh my goodness.
It's a GMO sandwich.
Yeah.
So should we start with the basics, like the dates and the time?
Yeah.
And the location?
I mean, I can tell you a little bit about that stuff. It's going to be at the Grand America. Again, this may be the last year it's there. We're not sure. Well, maybe
like because
we say that every year.
Big?
There's all kinds of reasons to leave.
We could honestly, there's some really cool things we could do if we went somewhere else that we don't get to do. And we'd have to stop some of the cool things, but we could do other new ones. So
we're seriously considering looking at Alyssa's new house, her backyard.
Nice.
I mean, there are like 3 whole trees back there. So just saying is an option.
Think what we can hang from them, though. Think about it.
Right. All kinds of things we can hang.
The lights.
Just going, lights. Okay, I was like, this is
donuts
going dark.
on a string. It's gonna be amazing.
Sign me up.
The effigies.
Yeah.
But no, so we are for sure at Grand America this year then.
Yep.
Folks, yeah. You know, the only thing we're not sure about is where's NG Conf 2019. 2018's, yeah, a lot of the plans are already concreted, like it's at the Grand America. It starts on April 18th, goes 19th and 20th. We've got 2 days of training before it, a Saturday activity afterwards. You're going to want to bring your kids because we've got a kids conference, and they can go to that while you're at the main conference. So, yeah, I mean,
let's dig in a little bit there. We can start again Monday and Tuesday. Those are workshop days, right? They're full days, workshops. In fact, I can even give you the lineup of what workshops we're going to have.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Didn't Alyssa teach like 3 of those at a time last year or something?
Yeah, Alyssa actually. So it's like those professional chess players that will play multiple people at the same time. She does workshops that way.
Yeah.
People never even knew. I'd slip out and then I'd be back and then I'd kind of scare them and be like, "Hey, here's the next topic."
Yep. Yep.
So 2 full days of workshops, and you can give us the lineup, but you won't because it's a secret.
No, I'm gonna give you the lineup here. I'm giving you the lineup here.
Nice.
Just put it up here. All right, so we're going to do the same thing we did last year with a 2-day intro to Angular done by John Papa and Dan Wallin. That was a very popular and very well-received workshop. We're going to do the same thing again. And then on Monday, we're also going to be doing workshops on full-day workshops on migration or Angular with Redux or NGRX. See, the migration one, I'm going to teach that one. The Angular with Redux, Todd Motto is going to teach that one.
Nice.
And then we got Ben Lesh teaching RxJS, full day.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All really popular topics.
Yep.
We just reached out to the community, and NGRX and Upgrade are 2 really big topics people are involved in. So
what are the amount of people do you expect to
hold on, I'm not done.
Sorry.
I wasn't done.
Oh my God.
There's more?
Wait, there's more.
Wait, there's
order
more.
now. If you order now, you get these freaking 2 knives.
But that's not all.
It's all your secret.
Tuesday, the Narwhal guys. We got Jeff Cross and we got Victor.
And AiA will probably be there now because she's.
That's right. She's at Narwhal now.
So they're gonna be doing a workshop on going to production.
Mm-hmm.
And then yours truly will be returning again for a second day to talk about testing Angular.
Woof.
Yep. And then one more. Of course, that's also day 2 of the Intro to Angular workshop with John and Dan. We should just call them John and Dan. It's the John and Dan show.
No, it's perfect.
And then we've also got a 2-parter. You could go and learn about Webpack and Flexbox and CSS grids, taught by Sean Larkin and Dave Geddes.
Nice. I saw Dave yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
I went IRL?
Yeah, I went to lunch. Quick shout out. I went to lunch with Eric Berry from codesponsor.io.
Nice.
And Merritt Christensen and Dave Geddes were at the restaurant. So they came over and said hello.
Awesome.
Anyway, continue.
So there we go. Those are our workshops. That's day 1 and so that's Monday and Tuesday, which are kind of like the 2 pre-conference workshop days. And then we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're keeping the same format we did last year. Wednesday is full day, single track, Angular goodness, topics galore, talks by the Angular team and a lot of the popular members of the community and lots of new members of the community, or new speakers at least for NG Conf, members of the community. Of course, we don't know who they are right now. We haven't picked talks, but as always, what it will be. Then we usually do our party Wednesday night. What was that?
Have you issued your call for papers yet?
It is open. If you head over to ng-conf.org, you can hit the link for the CFP.
Yeah, by the time this podcast goes out, there will be some additional instructions from us. We've thrown it kind of preliminarily out there, but we actually sent out a survey to the community about what they think about conference talks and what they'd like to hear. And we did it bigger than we've normally done it in the past. And so we're going to be telling the speakers, hey, this is what people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that we'll have the most relevant topics, even though we've always been relevant. I think this will be like the greatest year yet, based on the amount of feedback we've gotten from the community so far. So
that's awesome.
Can you tell us a little bit what that you haven't already spoken about that seem to be hot? What are the hot topic areas that you've gotten in your feedback?
Do you want me to finish the schedule?
No, I want you to do what I want. Okay.
Go ahead, Joe. Do the schedule. We'll come back to it because it's actually really interesting, but let's do the schedule first.
All right. So let's see. We always do some stuff on Tuesday night. Like when people are like arriving and flying in, there's always, I don't know, social events. Sometimes there's an extra workshop, a free workshop or two. So we always do stuff Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we do our main party, which is always, crazy epic. Thursday during the day, we split the format. So instead of like, 3 straight days of just sitting in your seat, Thursday is like up and moving around. So there'll be like 4 or 5 different rooms with workshop or talks going on at the same time. It's basically very similar to just your typical multi-track conference from that perspective. We always try to throw in some other activities.
Lots of food.
Yeah, tons of crazy food. Try to do food all day long. And
lots of prizes going on that day.
Yep.
Might even have like a barber and a salon kind of going for people.
Yeah, we've done like a masseuse in the past. You can go in and sign up and get a 10-minute back massage. We did an escape bus last year. We had them pull up and they were just available. You could sign up and go to the escape bus during the day. Yep. We always do a couple fun activities. And then we do things like,
How about a mani-pedi? Can we get a mani-pedi?
That's already available in the hotel. I think we're limited to not compete with them.
No, I want an on-stage mani-pedi so that
Oh my god!
Everyone can see your gnarly toes.
You should not talk about that because we can make that happen.
Oh, goodness. Wow, that just got really awkward for you.
It just got real, and it just got real awkward.
That would be a great giveaway. Sometimes it's a drone, sometimes it's a mani-pedi. You never know.
Yeah.
Man, don't joke, Joe. Don't joke.
And again, on Thursday, one of the things we really like to try to do is make the speakers, the Angular team, and other community experts very available for people. So we do like Ask Me Anything sessions. Typically, we do like an experts room where you can show up in the room whenever you have time. And there's going to be experts that are Angular experts hanging out there, and you can ask whatever questions you have that aren't going to be answered by a typical talk, right? And then we usually do like an intro tutorial room where you could go in and do the Angular tutorial and have people in there to help you out. And we try to encourage the speakers to hang out in the hallways and just be available for people to chat, whether it's socially or to answer specific questions.
That's one of my favorite things at NG Conf is that whole process there and that whole interaction that really brings gives the attendees some direct contact. That's one of the best things about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of people love the networking stuff that you're talking about, Ward, and you sound like one of them. And I know I really do too, but we've heard that some people are more interested in education than networking. So while we'll have all the same networking stuff, we're really focusing on making sure there's enough education and more advanced and higher quality education this year than even before. So there'll be focus on both of those two things.
Very cool.
So is the higher education coming through the talks, or is it because you're going to have special sessions that are dedicated to more advanced topics?
It's both. I mean, that's kind of one and the same. We polled the community and they've given some feedback, and we'll talk about that in a second, but
yeah,
it's going to be a more targeted talks. The talks are going to be more what people want to hear. It's going to be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be interesting to talk about that. We were all really interested when we actually reached out, asked about topics. So that's Thursday day. Thursday night, we do we let the sponsors put on some parties. Usually we have some gaming going on. Last year we did Overwatch in the big ballroom on the huge main screen. That was pretty funny to see. And had some Overwatch tournaments going on. People were watching. We do karaoke. We do a lot of karaoke because Aaron's a big karaoke fan. And,
I didn't even know I was till 2 years ago. I freaking love it now. Chuck's coming this year. It's going to be cool.
I am coming this year. Yeah, last year we planned a Disney vacation, and then you guys announced the dates for NG Conf, and it just anyway. But I'll be there this year.
So that's Thursday night, and Friday is back to the same thing as Wednesday, just single session, single track, all day long. 10 to 5 usually is what we do, I think, something like that. And then that's usually it. And then Saturday we always throw together some kind of an activity for the attendees to go on. In the past, we've done skiing when it was earlier in the year. Since this is April, skiing is not going to be very advisable, especially late April. We've done a day at the local amusement park. So we're not sure what we're going to do this year yet. That isn't locked in, but always some activity.
Joe, can I tell the theme?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this, right? We were going to talk about the theme.
Yeah. So each year we try to have a theme. Like 2 years ago was May the 4th be with you, right? Because it was on May the 4th. Mm-hmm. And this year, the conference comes out. The conference happens a few weeks after everyone's most favorite, excited movie we're all waiting for comes out, and that's Ready Player One. So
say it again. I don't know if you came through again clearly.
Sorry. So it's Ready Player One. It comes. The conference happens just a few weeks after Ready Player One comes out. So
what is Ready Player One?
Oh, get out of town.
No.
Ward.
I'm sorry. What can I tell?
I think you just mortally offended Frosty.
Nah, I mean, it's just a great book is all. You should go read it, Ward.
Okay. What I mean is,
were you alive in the 80s, Ward? If so, you'll probably appreciate the book.
Hey man, I was deep into disco.
You'll like it.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, it's a really, really popular read. Anyway, so we're gonna have an 80s themed conference. Well, 80s / future, because it's kind of a Ready Player One theme going along. So we should have a lot of throwback 80s stuff at the conference. The party should be themed that way. We're gonna rent out a movie theater and take whoever wants to go see the movie.
Sweet.
It's gonna be a fun event. So that's kind of the theme that we're trying to focus everything around, is something 80s or futuristic 80s, if that makes sense. Yeah. Does that make sense?
That's going to be fun.
It totally makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be cool. So that's kind of the theme of this year is kind of 80s or Ready Player One type theme.
But Ready Player One, I'm reading here, it's set in the year 2044. How does that relate to the 80s?
I know. See,
you got to read the book.
You have to read the book.
Well, I mean, it's like 80s futuristic, right? That's what they said. They're like, kind of 80s, kind of futuristic. So,
I think Eric could give a 20-second synopsis of the book to make it make sense for people who haven't read it and may not decide to read it.
So you're in the future, and a game maker dies, and he had a fixation on the 80s. So upon his death, he emails the entire planet and says, "Hey, I created a game that you all get to play, and the winner gets all my money. But you have to know about my life in order to win." And his life was the 80s.
It's kind of like a treasure hunt you do inside of this game. It's a big virtual reality game.
Yeah. And so the whole world, all kind of focuses on the 80s all over again. Like, grandparents get the weird experience of watching their grandchildren, go through all the same fads and fashions that they went through when they were in the 80s. So it's really cool how you're in the future, but there's all this 80s throwback. So it's actually a really, really cool experience the book is. So
we can do a team imitations and
so your A team outfit is approved this year, Ward.
Exactly.
I want to be Mr. T.
And your Thriller outfit, your Thriller costume's also approved.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And that's the thing.
I can sing Love Boat songs because that was big in the 80s.
True.
Yeah.
There's lots of possibilities here.
There are.
Yeah.
80s were such a great decade.
So I'm going to guide the conversation over to a question Ward asked, which was, what did the community say when we asked them? And I want to guide it because I was actually really kind of blown away. Joe, were you did you read that feedback and was like, whoa?
Yeah. Reintroduce the topic here again for people who are just catching up.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that NG Conf is what the community wants it to be, not what Joe and I want it to be. And honestly, not what the Angular team wants it to be. We want it to be what the community needs. So we polled the community and we said, hey, we asked them a bunch of questions. And we got some pretty stellar feedback that I honestly didn't expect. Several pieces of it kind of blew me away. So we're using that to say to the speakers, hey, your talks have to be like this. And you should talk about these topics. and don't talk about these topics because the community's straight up said they don't want to hear it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, wow, man, you got me on the edge of my seat.
So you want to hear some of it? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I want to hear what they want to know, and I'm is interested in what they don't want to hear any more about.
Right. So I'm gonna throw a couple of them that were really fun pieces. So we asked, what were your favorite talks from past NG Confs? And I'm gonna throw out the list, the top 5 answers. So by far the number one was John Papa. John Papa, he pretty much won the favorite talks from conferences past. The next talk was 2 years ago, we had this doctor come in who showed how he uses electricity in people's brains to solve Parkinson's and help cure that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Aaron, that was your idea to bring that guy in, wasn't it?
It was him or Uncle Bob, and I was rooting for him. So yeah, that was how he got in. So there was that talk. We've got Shy was number 3, and everyone had a lot of really good things to say about Shy from High Res. Taro, for obvious reasons, his talks are fantastic.
How do you say his last name? Taro Parvinian?
Taropa. I could say his Twitter handle. Taropa. And then Kara, obviously, from the Angular team, she was number 5. Like, she was of the favorites talks of all time. So Kara also made the list. There was a few other stragglers, but those 5 were the ones that we saw more than one time. So yeah. So that was interesting. We asked, here's one thing that kind of blew my mind. So I'll share this one. If you would rather see advanced, intermediate, or beginner talks, what do you guys think the breakup of that was by percentage?
I'm going to go with 80, 10, and 10.
80 advanced, 10 intermediate, and 10 beginner?
Oh, I was going to say 80 beginner.
Oh,
and then
80
10
beginner.
on the other 2.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I liked it when it was the other way around. I'm feeling. My bet is that people who come to NG Conf now know more about Angular, and so they. I don't know. No, I
remember we emailed, we emailed out to 13,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is far more than just.
And we tweeted it. Yeah.
30, 40. Far more than just the attendees of NG Conf.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, if I had to guess, I would say it's probably 15 to 20% advanced. I would say 40 to 50% intermediate, and 30 or 40% beginner.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a ski slope, right? You got greens, blues, and blacks, double black diamonds. Yeah.
So I would have expected probably not as dramatic as what Alyssa had said, but something like that. Let me tell you what they did say, because this was I didn't expect it. They said 58% want advanced.
Oh wow.
40% want intermediate, which leaves 1.8% want beginner. Okay. I'm gonna go to a different answer. That's kind of the same topic. 1 second, where is it? What topics are covered too often? And by far, the number one answer was getting started with X, introduction to X, hello world X. People are done listening to basic Angular talks. They're done. Based on the feedback we just got, it's not a thing that we're...
There was another funny one you didn't mention. A talk that shows why TypeScript is good. We know already. That's what tons of people said that.
Oh, yeah.
Good. We know that.
So I'm curious.
I already know.
So John's talks have been he always does the 0 to application in about 5 minutes talk, which is very much a beginner's talk. It's a brilliant beginner's talk, but it's a beginner's talk. So how do you reconcile those two things? Just because it's a brilliant talk, which is a good enough reason to. I mean, anything John does is a brilliant talk. But were they referring to his always amazing and with his clips and stuff like that? How he gets from blank screen to app thing, or were they? You think they were just saying John's always great?
John actually hasn't done always the simple stuff. 2 years ago, John did best practices for AngularJS.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily a simple topic. This is how you structure your projects. These are the conventions you should use inside your components and directives and whatever, because Angular wasn't out back then. It was just AngularJS. And that was a pretty advanced topic. So John's done some pretty good topics in the past.
But, there's also, obviously your opinion is just as valid as ours, but it might be just because they're great talks, even though some of them are more on the beginner side. Also, the demand is undoubtedly changing when Angular 2 was either in beta, which was 3 years ago, right? Or it just barely released this year. Sorry, in beta 2 years ago, and just barely released this last year, a few months ago.
Last fall.
And there was potentially more demand for the introductory level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now people, we're asking them today what they want, and this is what they're saying. Yeah. So,
got it. Yeah, got it.
They might say, "Hey, John, I loved all of John's talks. I just don't want to see him talk again about something introductory because I got it from him now."
Yep.
Yeah. Well, John's name certainly wasn't on the list of things we don't want to hear.
No, John's coming. It's just, but
I feel like we're mixing two types of answers. So
right, exactly. It's what kind of thing would we like to hear from John, and this is actually a license for him to give, like you say, a patterns talk would be a really good one.
So let me throw a different answer out there that I think might blow you away. It blew me away. We asked the community, what topics do you feel you've mastered? Not the community's mastered. What do you feel you've mastered? What do you guys think the number one answer was? And it wasn't even close.
Angular?
Binding?
What do you mean it wasn't even close?
Like the second place answer doesn't even come close to the first place answer. Like it was a complete blowout what the answer was.
Oh.
What topics I feel like they've mastered in Angular?
List the Angular things you feel you've mastered, and we have one answer that destroyed all.
Holy smokes.
Probably more than all other answers combined.
I was going to just say binding, but I don't know.
The answer was none.
What?
Yeah, they feel like they've mastered nothing. Like
everyone.
Yeah. A couple people had some answers like routing or NG upgrade or reactive forms. Those were some common answers of the things, but by far, we had some people say, I'm pretty good at a lot, but mastered nothing. We had a couple of those, but the largest answer by far was I haven't mastered any of it.
So
I'm gonna have to go with how it was worded, because you're basically asking, a bunch of imposters, right? Not imposters, but people with imposter syndrome to say, yeah, I'm a pro, right? Like, I think it would be really hard actually to get people to say that.
Potential.
Is that like a new thing the kids are doing?
Yeah. Oh, Frosty's always good for some of that. He's always got like his finger on the pulse of where the kids are today.
But it makes me sad that that makes me sad, but it also makes me think, how many people do I know in the dev industry that would be like, yeah, I am a freaking master at blah.
Yeah. So you can already imagine how this is affecting us as organizers. Like with this tool, my toolbox, you can already imagine what I'm going to say to the speakers, right? Like, hey, they haven't mastered your topics. Like, our goal this year is to help people master up and get some real mastery control over some of these concepts. And so that's our focus this year. And so it was really good and validating to get some of this feedback, because we were already wanting to focus on mastery level advanced type topics, and some of this feedback was super, super validating.
Yeah, but can you really, in a 1 hour talk or a half hour talk, you're not going to get somebody to mastery. You really just want to give them the tools and the motivation to go master it on their own, right?
Yeah, 100% you're right. But
don't aim into the dirt for the newbie stuff.
If I said to 100 of them, hey, go performance bust your app. They don't know what to do. But if I can give you a mastery level dive, like soup to nuts on performance profiling.
Don't wait for users to report problems. Raygun gives you complete visibility on errors, crashes, and performance problems affecting your end users. You can replicate issues in seconds rather than digging through log files and having to rely on users to report errors or crashes. Raygun gives you a window into how users are really experiencing your software applications. It has full support for JavaScript and all other major languages and platforms. It takes less than 10 minutes to set up, and you can get a free 14-day trial by going to raygun.com and signing up today.
Maybe they do come out of the conference with something that they could go master in the next few weeks. I don't know. And that's our goals. That's what we as organizers are going to go figure out for the next 6 months till the conference happens.
Right.
So,
yeah, if you want to master something, then wow, that's a really good question. I mean, I think you have to sort of like you have to narrow an area and then master the area, right?
Yeah.
NGRX or reactive or data manage, the HTTP client or something like that. Techniques for getting data or something, or
animations or something. Yeah.
Animations. In other words, the thing is that it's gonna look like Swiss cheese because you're gonna have to leave vast areas open in order to be able to go deep on one.
Well, that's okay.
And that could make for a great conference.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just thinking it changes the complexion of the course. You're not trying to be comprehensive. You're trying to say, we're going to target some things and go deep on them.
I don't think people could sit there for 3 days of that talk anyway. So we will have some non-talks like that, right? Like we always have some soft skills talks, and hopefully those will get deep too, but they're certainly not technically deep. And we'll have some other intermediate and beginner level stuff as well, but we really want people to come out of this conference saying that was some educational stuff we just went through. That was awesome. So
yeah.
So this is a fun game. Can we keep playing this game? I'm gonna tell you the question, you guys guess the answer.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So we asked them, what's the number one thing you want to hear about? What's the number two thing you want to hear about? What's the number three thing? Let's start with number one. What do you guys think the number one thing people said?
How to dress like an Angular developer.
That was it. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Dress for success. How to dress like Ward.
How to dress like Ward. That was it. What do you guys think?
That was too easy.
It was easy. What do you guys think they said? It was a blowout, by the way.
What was the number one thing they wanted to come away with?
Ooh. Can we get a multiple choice? Can we get like 5 options?
Okay, I'm going to give you the top 4 and you pick. What was the number one? Okay. Universal, AOT and better builds, PWA, and NGRX.
Blowout, you say.
AOT.
I'm going to go with, I think AOT.
Mm-hmm. Chuck? Chuck, you got nothing?
NGRX.
So it was NGRX by far.
Oh, man.
And NGRX...
They made me doubt. I shouldn't have doubted.
No. And NGRX was a recurring theme among a lot of questions that we asked. So undoubtedly...
Can I give my anti-NGRX talk then?
That'd be really funny, actually.
Honestly, it might be a thing that we should talk about because everyone's worried about state management and they need to get onto the Flux pattern ASAP. So maybe we have more talk about anti-Flux. I don't know.
I'd be in a room by myself.
I don't know.
I don't really have an anti-NGRX, but I have a cautionary. I mean, it's something I actually would have wanted to give the NGRX talk, but then people would think I was coming with flame, and that's not true. I think it's fascinating. I just think it's dangerous. Anyway, okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, number 2. What do you guys think the number 2 thing that people said?
What were our options
From the
again?
same 4?
Nope.
Hey, what do you want to hear about? And the number 2 most thing that they wanted to hear about. What do you guys think?
So, and it generated a fairly different set of results when they said the number 1 thing they wanted to hear about versus the number 2. There's a fairly small amount of overlap, actually.
Yeah, I thought that they would be basically the same answers in different orders, but it's complete separate lists. So I'm glad we asked the question.
There is one answer that's on all 3.
Yeah.
So we get another set of 4 then to choose.
Okay, I'll get another set of 4.
I'm guessing that it's either performance something or Angular Universal something.
Okay. Chuck's pretty friggin' smart on this stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but let's go with it. So I'm gonna give you 4 options: advanced routing, advanced Angular CLI and custom builds, NGRX, or scaling large Angular apps.
Custom builds.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Ward on this one.
And Alyssa?
The scaling one.
Okay.
Alyssa does not give in to peer pressure.
She does not cave.
No, I don't.
Nope.
Alyssa, all the cool people are doing it. It's the custom builds one, dude. It's everyone. Like, how do I take the CLI? How do I do advanced things with the CLI? How do I use the CLI in my own Webpack build? Because I don't want to use the CLI. Like the CLI was the number 1 answer there. Like,
Now, where have I heard a rant on this before recently?
Things that make you go, I don't know, but I'm smelling garbage, but it's burning. Smelling burning garbage when I think about that question.
I don't have any idea what that reference means. Like, not a clue.
Oh, really?
Burning garbage?
It's Joe's favorite
favorite phrase.
It's his where he goes. It's where he goes to live. It's the dumpster fire.
Oh, okay. You're a dumpster pyro. Yeah. I gotcha.
All right.
He's a dumpster pyro. I love it.
Advanced routing, NGRX, and scaling large Angular apps were 2, 3, and 4 on that answer. So let's do the last one, which is the third thing they want to hear about. And I'm going to give you the top 4 answers. Okay.
Ready.
Actual animations. So not animations. They want actual animations. Universal, performance, and testing.
Oh, that's hard.
I want it to be testing so bad.
Okay.
It's not testing, Ward.
But it's not testing.
It's not.
No, it's actual animations.
Chuck? Ward, come on.
I'm going testing anyway, just because that's what they should have said.
Okay, give it to me one more time. What were they?
All right. Universal, actual animations, testing, and performance.
Oh, man. By the reordering of your thing, I'm thinking it's performance.
I'm leaning toward performance.
But I want it to be animation, so...
You guys are trying to... Alyssa, you're trying to game the game. Aaron said them.
Don't wag
There's
the
not a
dog
prize.
like
There's not a prize for this if you get it right.
Hey, people,
Bragging rights.
if you didn't say testing, there's something wrong with you. That's all I'm telling you.
On the number 1 thing they want to hear, testing was the 5th most popular answer. So they did say testing earlier, but performance was the number 1 thing, the top thing in the 3rd spot that they want to hear.
Yeah.
Called it.
So these are things, this is kind of feedback that Joe and I and the other people that help us pick talks, we've never had in the past.
No, it's gold. It's gold.
Yeah.
So we're going into this and we're able to prepare the speakers with this for their CFP, and we're also able to use it when we select talks. So I think, and I could be talking prematurely here, I think this will be the most educative conference that we've ever done.
Nice.
And one of the
my heart is literally singing with this news.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, you guys got to have like a notebook. Like, even if it's like a cheapo depot one that you give away, because we should have like a cram session. Here's how you learn the best or how you retain the best. Because if peeps aren't writing this stuff down or typing it out, it's like the best way to retain what you're like intaking and also stay focused for those ADHD people out there. But yeah, seriously, notebooks. We need notebooks, everyone.
And the other thing I thought was pretty interesting was NGRX was on every list, pretty high. 1, 2, and 3. That was the only one that was on.
And testing's really popular too.
So they actually do want to hear about testing. It's just not their top 3 or 4.
Right.
I mean, out of that many people, Ward, you should still feel proud because that's like that it rose to the top. Like that's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's a little bit like saying they all want to hear about broccoli. They know they should.
Right. Okay, next one, Aaron.
Okay. All right. I'll just pull one off my list. Okay. So this one's kind of a shotgun approach here. We said, because we've had success with it, what non-Angular topics do you want to see?
Ooh.
So think non-Angular real quick. Break out of the AiA mode, and we've got a good list. So Joe, this list in here isn't sorted, by the way, but yeah, we've got a great list.
All right, they want to hear about React.
Would shock me, actually.
Okay. Next answer. Alyssa?
Can we make Chuck go first?
Chuck?
So non-Angular, but it can be related to Angular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? How can it be related?
So I'm thinking things like Webpack or Flex.
So
Flex
doesn't have to be related. Like,
it doesn't have to be related.
Remember the doctor who gave the talk about the electricity and the trains and stuff? That was not related.
Yes.
How to stay current.
And Justin Searles,
That's
last
mine.
year Justin Searles gave a talk that had nothing to do with Angular, right? And so those are non-Angular talks.
Mine's going to be like, my guess will be in the vein of like performance, like with you, like self-performance, kind of like what I think Chuck just said, where it's like.
Okay.
By the way, I wasn't serious about React.
Oh, what you're saying is you're changing your answer. Okay, I got it.
Get
no,
that man
mine's
some
like
white out.
Sprinkle white on that one. It's like how to get a job, that kind of theme.
Okay. Chuck. Oh, Alyssa, is everyone done?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all went.
Okay. All right, here you go. AI was the number one.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
That makes sense.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
AI, artificial
intelligence.
Number one. Number two, Electron. I didn't see that coming.
No, that makes total sense.
Yep.
We had a good amount of AR VR, and we actually had two. I did not see this happening, but we might give a talk on it. Roller derbies.
What?
Nice.
What?
Two people.
Two people want to hear about roller derby.
It's statistically significant.
Yeah.
Oh man, we need to take you back to statistics.
It's outside the standard deviation by one, Alyssa. So yeah, it's in.
Dude, even if you have 2 dots on your diagram that are like way up in the mountains, it does not make that way up in the mountains any more important.
If you have 2 dots, you can make a line. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Oh God, no! But seriously, maybe if we wanted to like participate in a roller derby, I would be down for volunteering. For that.
Nice.
So wait, if I had the
would pay to
national
see
championship, the captain of the national champion roller derby team there, that wouldn't be interesting.
What do you mean? Wouldn't be like?
It would be way
question.
interesting, is what I'm saying. It would be awesome.
Yeah, but like, why would you have that hookup?
I don't know. Like, wouldn't I?
That is.
Oh man.
I know you. Why wouldn't I know them?
That's true. You know some pretty weird people. I love it. Oh man, you got me all excited. And like, how many months do I have to wait now? How far is this? Is it like 6 months away? Somebody do the math.
About 6 months.
6.
That's cruel. That's like cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
Like get people excited this far in advance.
Oh, sorry. We should have done this last time. Man, we screwed up, Joe. Okay.
Oh.
One last thing. don't stop listening to the podcast yet. We're changing the way we sell tickets this year.
Oh yeah.
People are going to want to know that.
So the first 2 years we crashed the servers and it was chaotic, and we decided, hey, what if we do like this waiting list? People just buy a raffle ticket, and then we give away, we let people from the raffle buy tickets in some sort of a slow paced order. This year
it's like the Apple lottery kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have time. We kind of slowly trickle the tickets out. Exactly. That's how we've done it in the past.
That's anyway, how my kid's school does it. They do a lottery, and then if you don't claim it within a certain amount of time, then they do another lottery.
Well, this year we're gonna we're just gonna put the tickets on sale again, because no matter what we do, people complain. Yeah, no matter what we do, people complain and yell at us. So it's like, if we release them all the first day, people yell at us. If we slowly trickle them out, people yell at us. Like, we're just tired of having people yell at us. It's kind of weird and nonsensical. So we're just gonna release.
I don't think you can win.
And there will be potentially a couple, 3 phases to them as well. We sell the bulk right up front, and then we have to reserve a certain number for things like sponsors and stuff. And then when we get things a little bit more nailed down and dialed in on that, then we release another small set, and then potentially usually a third small set goes on sale a month or month and a half beforehand.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember whenever you had it, like where it hit all at once, and we had everybody in the office. Like, not everybody in the office wanted to go, but we had everybody in the office on the website refreshing until it was like on sale. And then they just purchased it with the company card, and whoever got tickets, that was how many people we got to send to NG Conf. And of course, like, the Angular lovers on the team got first pick, but like, we literally had everybody trying because we were like, come on. So I'm so excited. It was like literally a ticket party that we had. So I'm so excited.
Let me tell you this.
Put them on sale at 2 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh, cruel.
Let me tell you this. We don't think that's going to happen again. That's why we're going back to that way.
Right.
If we thought that was going to happen again, we wouldn't do it. But
you don't think it's going to be an instant sellout within a minute?
No,
we don't.
Why would you think that?
Well, we've more than doubled the capacity from when we were doing those instant sellouts. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
When we were doing instant sellouts, there was no other Angular conferences on the planet. We were the only one. And now I could name 10 right here.
Here, right now.
Right here, right now. NGBE, NG Norway, NGNL, Angular Beers, Angular Connect, NG Europe.
Aaron, you could name 2 that you run.
NG Summit, NG Vegas. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many now. So,
but like, did you guys actually see any like decline in sales or slower sales last year?
When you do it on the when you do it on the lottery, it just works so differently that there's just no way to know and to tell.
I
mean, if you absolutely must go, then be around when the tickets go on sale.
Yeah, right? But otherwise, I'm not super
ready.
Concerned that they're going to sell out in 10 minutes again. Yeah. In fact, if I was a betting man, I would bet that they don't. So
I am on the betting side that they do, but I am again fine with going against the grain. So,
having said that, we still pride ourselves on trying to be the best Angular conference. So, if they do sell it immediately, I would understand why, but I'm pretty sure that they won't.
Well, all I have to say
props, basically
is that if Alyssa's right, or if Aaron's right, then Alyssa, you have to buy him dinner. And Aaron, if Alyssa's right, then Alyssa's not here, so you have to buy me dinner.
Okay.
I'll buy you dinner. How about you could buy Aaron's treat and dinner April 20th.
At NG Conf. Oh, I love it. I love
it.
Yeah. Aaron will treat Chuck and Alyssa April 20th.
Okay.
Right,
yeah, she's right.
I'm going to say it will sell out under 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's anything over 10 minutes, then
I'll give you the first hour because it's just not going to happen. So.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, we just doubled down.
I will take you on that, son. I will take you on that.
All right. Well, I think we're well over our time, so we should probably go to picks.
Okay.
But if people are worried about getting the tickets, they just go to ng-conf.org or something like that and check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, sign up for the mailing list. That's when, and then follow us on Twitter. That's where the announcements of the ticket releases are happening. So those are the two best places to get updates. Or you can call Joe's cell phone number. Joe, go ahead.
Yep. It's 801-555, no way.
No, it's 867-5309.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing an 80s theme, right?
My wife's name is Jennifer, and I totally wanted to get her that number. It would have been awesome.
Well,
That's
and
awesome.
you can't just rattle off that phone number without ending it with 999.
Yeah.
All right, we are devolving fast. Let's go ahead and do some picks. This episode is sponsored by Linode. Linode is offering listeners of this podcast a $20 credit, which is good for 4 free months at their lowest plan. Their plans start at 1 gigabyte of RAM for $5 a month. You can get your servers in any of their 10 data centers, and their high memory plans start at 16 gigabytes. Get a server running in under a minute. They do hourly billing with a monthly cap on all plans and add-on services like backups, node balancers, Longview, etc. VMs for full control, running Docker containers, encrypted disks, VPNs, etc. You can run a private Git server. They provide native SSD storage, 200 gigabit network, and Intel E5 processors. They have 24/7 friendly support, even on holidays, and a 7-day money-back guaranteed. So go check them out at linode.com/adventures in Angular. Ward, do you have some picks for us?
Well, I wonder how many of our audience are into backpacking. By the way, 8675309, Jenny, is a 1981 song. So it qualifies for your 80s theme.
True.
Nice.
So I just got back from an amazing backpacking trip into the Sierra King Canyon wilderness with a guy you must know, Andrew Skirka, Skura, who runs these trips and has terrific world-class guides. And you really learn a lot about what you're made of and what it takes to be out there and hike distance in the wilderness.
How long? Like, would the trip be? This
was a 5-day trip. He runs some shorter ones. He used to run longer ones, but they're tough. So you actually have to kind of get in. Well, they were tough for a guy like me. You got to get into a little bit of shape to do them. But if you go to even if you don't do that, you go to his website and you can learn a lot about techniques about how to cook, cooking gear and how to poop in the woods and all this stuff. And I could go on about pooping in the woods, but I'll save that for next show.
Nice.
So I'll put his website in here, but just because there's so much to learn from him, even if you don't take one of his trips. But I just came back from one of his trips, and it's life changing.
Nice. Alyssa, what are your picks?
So, ironically, I already had the pick before I knew the topic, but I am promoting NG Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking there. I think it's in January. I'm pretty sure. Absolutely horrible with dates. I apologize. But yes, tickets are on sale now, and I'm going to be talking about service workers, but I know a ton of other cool people who are going, also talking about a lot of cool things. So yeah, NG Atlanta, but I mean, obviously NG Conf too, but that one's a lot more, in the future. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Joe, what are your picks?
All right, so I got 2 picks for you, neither of them even remotely technical. If you have not seen Steve Harvey, if that name doesn't come right to mind, he's the guy who currently he hosts Family Feud, or at least he used to. He's African American. He's got huge veneers, right? He's very, very recognizable from his teeth. I had no idea. But he does these motivational talks, and he gave one called Jump. I guess they recorded it right to the audience. He was just talking to the audience before the filming of Family Feud, and It's on YouTube. It's the most amazing motivational speech. If you haven't seen it, it's only 6 minutes long. If you haven't seen it, absolutely should go check it out and spend 6 minutes of your life just checking this out. Such an amazing, just impromptu. He just started talking to this audience. I don't know if he does it all the time or not, but it was really cool. So
Jump by Steve Harvey.
Yep, Steve Harvey Jump. I'll put the link in, but you can also just hit that in YouTube and it's get it. I think it's a little bit older because I think it was recorded in standard def, but still pretty awesome. And then the other thing I want to pick is last week on Friday, I went and saw here in Salt Lake. It's a traveling thing. This guy does this thing called the One-Man Star Wars Trilogy.
Oh, that sounds so great.
Ward, you should have come. You would have loved it. This
Wait,
guy,
no, I've seen him in Orlando.
He's so amazing. Over like 90-ish minutes, he did the whole original trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars, and acted them all out. He does his own sound effects, just one man up on the stage, lights, but not really no props. It was so fantastic. It was just unbelievable. If you are a Star Wars nerd at all. But he also does one-man Lord of the Rings, one-man, he's opening up a one-man Stranger Things, and he does a couple of others. I don't know what the entire list is of things that he does. He did promise that he would never do one-man Dynasty, I think. Or maybe his terms were different. I don't know. But he's really funny. Oh, he's doing a one-man Pride and Prejudice as well.
Oh my goodness.
that sounds more interesting. I know a dentist who can give you a root canal in 1 hour, and maybe that.
It was so fantastic. So if you just Google One Man Star Wars, it comes right up. And
it was the only way I've ever been able to get my husband into a real theater.
Oh yeah, because it was
with that show. Yeah, it was incredible.
Oh man, it's pretty funny. So anyway, there you go. Those are my picks.
Awesome. Frosty, do you have some picks for us?
Yeah, I got 3 picks. I'm gonna start with the best book I've read in the last year. It's called Can't Make This Stuff Up, and it's by Kevin Hart. It's absolutely incredible. On one page, you're laughing hysterically, and on the next page, maybe but I'm crying. I'm like, wow, that was actually that was a pretty touching moment between him and his mom or whatever. So yeah, you can't make this up. I Can't Make This Stuff Up by Kevin Hart. A great book if you're looking for something that's motivational and like how to make it from the bottom to the top, and with all sorts of trials. He actually has a really cool story that was really fun to listen to. Next pick. I didn't even know this was a thing, but I went to a cooking class with my daughter, and it's called White Velvet Cake. Just Google it and make it.
It's good. It's good
stuff, you know?
Is it basically what it sounds like red velvet but white?
Yeah, you don't put all the red food coloring in it, and you just leave out the cocoa. But it's so good. It's insane. So I'm gonna throw that out there. White velvet. And then my last pick is anybody and everybody who did anything beyond thoughts and prayers for Florida or Houston or Mexico City or Vegas or any of the other horrible things that's happened in the recent times, because life's kind of hard right now. And
does that include saying something on the internet or?
No, that's thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, man. Yeah.
That's still under the thoughts and prayers. What if you were ranting on the internet?
Yeah. Anyone who's done more than that.
More than those things. Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
I picked those people.
Joe, you made somebody go get some alcohol or something. I heard some ice in a glass.
I'm just cleaning up after
that was not
during the picks.
Let's just make this clear, Chuck. I'm not a big alcohol drinker.
No, I'm saying you drove someone else to drink because I heard clinking.
I drove somebody else to drink.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to jump in here. I've just got one pick today. It's been kind of an insane week. But my escape this week was a book called The Banished of Muirwood. It's by Jeff Wheeler. This is the second trilogy in this realm. The first trilogy starts with The Wretched of Muirwood. So if you're looking for that, go check it out. That's Muirwood, Muirwood. I've just been enjoying them. They're not the most amazing books I've ever read, but I did enjoy them, and it's just nice to kind of listen to a book on Audible and get a break. So I'm going to pick that. And then the other thing I'm going to pick is go find a problem or product that you're really just passionate about and dig in and start coding on it. I started doing that last night, and I was up until like 2 a.m. coding just because I got sucked into the problem space. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. So, and I haven't done that for a long, long time. So anyway, just go find something interesting to code against, especially if work just isn't charging your batteries, so to speak. So anyway, those are my picks. And I guess that's all we got. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and we will catch everyone next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
I was channeling my Aaron when I did my piece.
Yes.
Bandwidth for this segment is provided by CacheFly, the world's fastest CDN. Deliver your content fast with CacheFly. Visit CACHEFLY.com to learn more.